Every January, the people of this town repaint one line on the wall, a simple mark that says sea level, and every year the ocean steals it back. They don't argue if it will happen anymore, they argue how much. Because here the ground doesn't just sink slowly. Sometimes it drops, and the worst part? The town isn't falling into the sea. It's falling into something else. Locals call it Marogate, coastal town, built on old land, old money, and even older secrets. A quiet place where everyone knows everyone, and nobody talks about the same thing twice. Tourists come for the lighthouse. Photographers come for the fog, but the residents? They stay for one reason. They were born here. And the town won't let them go. Because Marrowgate sinks a little more every single year. It always gets worse in late winter. The same week, the same cold, wet air. And then comes what they fear most. They call it drop night. One resident described it like this. It's like the earth forgets how to hold itself together. Right before the sinking starts, people hear a sound. Not a crash, not an earthquake. A hum, low, slow, like something massive is waking up under their feet. It lasts anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes, and when it stops, that's when the town moves. Not sideways, down. The year it got truly terrifying, it happened at 2:17 a.m. A family on Alder Street woke up because their bedroom door slammed open by itself, but there was no wind. Then their dresser slid forward like the floor had tilted. The father shouted, "Outside, now!" They ran into the street just as the pavement sank beneath their neighbor's house. The porch dropped, the windows cracked, and the entire home tilted forward like it had stepped onto an invisible trapdoor. When morning came, the city measured it. 8 inches. In one night, not a disaster, a schedule. Some people blamed the sea. Some blamed soft ground, but Marrowgate didn't feel soft. It felt hollow, wells started tasting metallic. Basements filled faster than normal. And here's the part that still makes locals go quiet. After drop night, the lighthouse bell rang at exactly 3 a.m., but no one was there to pull the rope. The bell was still. The rope was tied. Yet the sound traveled across town like a warning. Eventually, experts came. They brought ground-penetrating radar, sensors, drones, maps. They explained subsidence, how groundwater removal can collapse soil, how coastal land can compress over time. And for a moment, that sounded like the answer. Until the data came back. Because the sinking wasn't evenly spread like normal subsidence. It formed a pattern, a shape. A rough circle, centered beneath the oldest part of town. Where the first church had once stood. Where the first cemetery still sat. Where the ground was just a little warmer than it should be. Behind the church, there's an iron gate locals avoid. It leads to a sealed stairwell and entrance to something the town used long ago, then buried. Old records call it a storage tunnel from a century back. But residents call it something else, the mouth, because on cold nights, warm air leaks out through the cracks like the ground is breathing. And if you press your ear to the stone, some say you can hear water moving. Not above you, below. One day, a local historian found something in the town archives, a journal from the old lighthouse keeper. A man who lived before the town ever admitted it was sinking. In the journal, he described drop night 80 years earlier. Same week, same sound, same bell, and then one line that didn't belong in any scientific report. The ground opens its throat. It takes another bite of the town. And it wants the church most of all. The keeper wrote that he followed the hum once. He walked to the cemetery and watched as the graves seemed to settle. Not collapse, sink politely like they were being lowered by invisible hands. Then he wrote, "If it ever stops taking small bites, it will take the whole town in one swallow." After that journal surfaced, the town split into 2 groups. The ones who wanted to leave and the ones who refused. Because leaving isn't simple when your family is buried here, when your grandparents' house is still standing, when your memories are nailed into the wood of every porch. But then the next drop night arrived. This time, the hum lasted longer than anyone remembered. 2 minutes, 3, 4. And when the sound finally stopped, the ground didn't drop 8 inches. It dropped 13. In one neighborhood, a road split open like a zipper. And underneath, not just mud, not just water, a gap. A dark space that swallowed flashlight beams. And from that space, someone swore they heard a second sound, not a hum, a knock, 3 times, like something was answering back. So what is Marrowgate really sinking into? Science says it's soil compression, groundwater, coastal erosion, a slow geological collapse. But the town's pattern doesn't behave like slow, and it doesn't behave like random. It behaves like something with rhythm, with appetite, with a destination. Because every year the circle tightens and the deepest sinking points closer to one place, the church. The cemetery, the sealed stairwell behind the gate. The mouth, and if the lighthouse keeper was right, if the ground is only taking small bites, then the question isn't why it sinks every year. The question is, what happens when it's finally hungry enough to take the last bite? If you think Marrowgate is just a natural disaster waiting to happen, or something far older waking up beneath the coast, tell me which one in the comments. And if you want more true-leaning mysteries like this, stories the world can't fully explain, hit like and subscribe. Because the next secret might be closer to your home than you think.